So we hear people talk about this mixing major and minor thing in a blues all of the time, but I rarely ever see it explained in depth as to what we're actually doing to make this work. I see people throwing different pentatonic scales around, telling people to move to different places on the fretboard to make it work. But the reality is that most of our favorite blues players aren't really doing that. What are they doing? I'm going to explain to you guys today a couple of simple things that you need to know, as well as show you where you can go on the fretboard to make this work. Okay, so first things first, we need to know what's actually happening here. So the one chord of a blues, now today we're going to use A blues as our example. Okay, so the one chord of our blues, an A dominant 7 chord, it loves to hear the sound of a major third. Now, for those of you who are familiar with intervals and your minor pentatonic scale, you may already be thinking, dang it, that means that my minor pentatonic scale does not work. That's actually not true. We're going to add, or rather alter our minor pentatonic scale so that it actually has a major third in it. Let me show you how to do that. So here we've got our minor pentatonic scale. Now what famous blues players would do is they would take all of their flat thirds and they would bend them up a half step to get the sound of a major third. Check this out. It sounds like this, and then I'm going to show you how to do it. Now just listening to that right away, you could probably hear a couple of familiar ideas happening. So let's take a look at where those opportunities happen. Okay, so when we're playing up our A minor pentatonic scale, we have root, flat 3, which we're going to bend that up a half step. So now you'll notice when I do this, I don't necessarily always hit that major third head on. I kind of almost hit it. Marty Schwartz calls this nudging. I think this is a great term to use, but we nudge the note. We kind of pull on it, almost getting it, but not quite. 4, 5, flat 7, 1. Now we're at the second octave. So the same thing applies. 1, flat 3 to 3. 4, 5, flat 7, 1, flat 3 to 3. So over a backing track, what I would recommend you do for the one chord of any blues is practice this where we play up the minor pentatonic scale. Every time you get to that flat 3, just bend it up a half step and you'll get that major third sound. It's kind of like mixing major and minor there, right? Okay, so the second thing that we need to understand is what on earth is going on with the 4 chord. If the 1 chord loves the sound of a major third, then am I supposed to change anything for the 4 chord? No, the 4 chord loves the sound of a flat third. So all we need to do here is stop bending those half steps. If we stop bending those half steps, we're good to go. Now, what's important when we outline chord changes is that we over-highlight what's different. It's all about what's different, right? So when we go to the 4 chord, we want to make sure it's unbelievably obvious that we're now playing a flat 3. And so what we can do is the second that 4 chord starts, just nail that flat third right on the head. So you might play something like this. I'm going to go from the 1 chord to the 4 chord. Check it out. See how I'm not bending that flat 3 anymore? I just unbelievably nail it right on the head just so we get that flat third sound. So just as a recap, our 1 chord loves the major third. Our 4 chord hates the major third and loves the flat third. So minor pentatonic over the 1, but bending into the major thirds from the flat thirds. For the 4 chord, we just leave it as it is. And that, my friends, is literally what people are talking about when they ask or make the statement of, oh yes, just blend major and minor together over blues. They're talking about major thirds for the 1 chord, minor pentatonic, and then flat thirds for the 4 chord, minor pentatonic. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. I have a free course in the description below. Feel free to check that out. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon.